planting a bare stick in the ground like this, in my mind, is the very best way to plant fruit trees. This week we are expanding our orchards, and we have added quite a few new varieties of apple, some peaches, and some plums, and a couple of mulberries. We've planted trees that are from containers, trees that we propagated, trees that were started from seed, trees that were traded for, but some of the best trees to establish that I have ever seen are trees that look just like this, a stick. This apple stick, this is a Collie apple. This is from Century Farm Orchards. I highly recommend them. David over there has a great collection of old southern apple varieties. If you think you can't grow apples because you're in the South, think again. It used to be done, but the industry got wiped out by shipping and the Civil War and prohibition and all kinds of other things. Here's another beautiful stick. American Golden Russet. These sticks will wake up in the ground and they'll grow better than you think. They do so well when they come right out of dormancy in the place where you plant them. It's like they don't even know they've been transplanted. I've been growing fruit trees for a long time, and about 10 years ago I started a whole bunch of peaches from seed. And I started them in a flat, just a wood flat that I had made, and then one day I was busy and I set this set of sprouting peaches on the ground at one edge of my nursery and then proceeded to forget about it. Well, by the time I went back and I saw it again, it was all full of trees that had grown 2 or 3 feet, and there were lots and lots of green leaves, and they were just a big clump of trees. So I talked to my friend Dave at Taylor Gardens Nursery, and he said, wait until they fall asleep in the winter. They've all grown into the ground through that flat, etc. Wait until they fall asleep in winter. Right before they wake up in the spring, go out there and just yank them all out of the ground, fork them out of the ground, dig them out of the ground, divide them up and plant them where you want to plant them. Just make them bare root and they'll transplant. But if you try to dig them up right now in a big clump, they'll likely die. And so I did that. And some of them only had about that much root on the bottom. Literally, I was trying to yank some of them out of the ground and pull this big flat up, and some of the roots broke off, and I transplanted them, and they all lived. But if you did the same thing in the middle of summer when they're wide awake, they're out of dormancy, they're actively growing, and they're losing moisture out of those leaves every day, it doesn't work very well. So what I found is, if you can plant trees when they are fully asleep and dormant, when they wake up in the spring, it's like they don't even know they were transplanted. You can get bare root trees online from multiple nurseries. They don't sell so well. When I bring trees out to an event in the early spring, and I have sticks in pots, as I like to joke, I got sticks in pots. They don't sell very well because people don't see any leaves. It looks like a stick in a pot. There's no fruit, there's no blooms, there's no leaves. But that's actually the very best time to transplant. It doesn't show well, but they transplant really easily. So if you get a chance to get bare root trees and plant them in the spring, they wake up right in the ground, they come out of dormancy, they bud out, they root out, and they often do better than trees from containers that you plant later in the year where they really suffer from transplant shock. So just a quick tip I learned in the nursery business, and I hope it is useful to you as well. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch y'all next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green.